The first card you have for your past is the Six of Wands. So yeah, obviously this is the victory card, but I think you had to I think at this time you kind of knew that you had to remove some blocks or remove something so that you could get to this victory. I think, there was, if you look at this card, there's the man on this horse has a lot of people around him supporting him. And I think that you felt that some people around you, specifically one person who was around you, one person who should have been supporting you, might not have been supporting you. I think this was a love situation, and I think you were either getting out of this love situation or you were kind of planning to get out of this situation, because I'm seeing this person as someone who might not have been listening to you, or they might not have been supporting you. And I think you were kind of getting out of this time and you were thinking about, I'm not happy with this person not supporting me. I'm not happy with this person not listening to me, not being interested in me or anything I want to do. I have big things I want to do. I have a lot of plans, things I love, things I want to be doing. And I want someone to be behind me. I want someone to be supporting me. And I think, you're getting out of this time and you're thinking, okay, this isn't what I want anymore. What do I want in my future? What sort of person do I want in my future? And so you were thinking, I want people to, be behind me, to listen to what I have to say. And, I'm seeing that you were telling this person who you're with, you were telling them your dreams, you were telling them, everything that was inside your heart, everything else. But I don't think they were kind of really interested. They might have just said, okay, or said something really bland that showed you that they weren't really listening properly. And so this was really, really frustrating. So, I think that's what you were doing. You were thinking, I don't want this person anymore. I don't want any more of this. I want someone who's going to support me. And I think you will find that, because this is the victory card. So you will find that person who supports you. And, it's not that you wanted attention all the time. I'm not seeing that, because the man on this card, sometimes this card can be about someone on their high horse that wants lots of attention and that kind of thing. And it wasn't like you wanted that. It was just that you wanted to be heard. That's normal. That's what everyone wants. They want to be heard. They want to be listened to. They want to feel as if what they have to say matters to someone else, especially someone who's supposed to be someone who they're in a relationship with. So, I think, if you end up being around anyone at all, a person who you're in a relationship with, a friend, anybody who doesn't listen to you in the future, I think you're just not going to give them any more chances. You're just going to say goodbye. Time's important to me. Time goes past very quickly, and I don't want to waste any more of that time. I don't want to repeat what's happened to me again in my future. I only want people around me who are going to support me. I can't waste my time trying to talk to people who won't listen to me. And, again, I'm seeing there might have even been, I think this kind of lack of support might have opened your eyes to some other people around you as well. Maybe some friends who weren't supporting you or listening to you either. Maybe you were doing a lot for those people. Maybe you were sitting around listening to all of their problems. But when it came to your problems, they were kind of like, oh, right, bye, I don't have time to talk now. It might have been that kind of thing as well. So I think you're really kind of getting rid, that sounds terrible, getting rid, but you're really kind of, distancing yourself or not being around people like that anymore. And, you will get to do what you want to do, and you will have people support you, because again, this is the victory card. So it will happen for you eventually. And so the next card you have for your past is the Hanged Man. So yeah, this card can be about a lot of different things, waiting around, thinking, ideas growing in your head. I'm seeing sacrifice in this card. It can be about that as well. So I think you might have had to leave someone behind. And I think when you left this person behind, this could be this person who you were kind of breaking up with, this ex, whoever this was. I think this meant that you actually also had to leave some other people behind as well. So maybe these were some people who were attached to them. Not literally. They weren't Siamese twins. But maybe they were relatives. Maybe they were close friends of theirs. Maybe you had mutual friends. But maybe these people kind of sided with this person. And I think you knew that you'd probably lose some of these people. I think, obviously some of their family were going to stick with them and be on their side. That's fine. You did miss some of these people. You got along with some of these people, but I think, you had your practical head on and you thought, well, yes, of course, their family's going to end up staying with them and talking to them and not really talking to me. Life goes on. This is what happens. And, also I think saying goodbye to some people, not literally, but kind of distancing yourself from people who are difficult, I think it kind of stirs things up. It stirs everything up for a while when you start to make these great big changes, these great big adjustments. And, you stir things up, and then it can take some time for things to settle back down again and, for people to settle into different positions. So you might have been close to a lot of people or whatever, and now you might not be close to those people anymore. But that's what you wanted. That's what you wanted to happen. So this is what you're getting. So that's what I'm seeing. And again, this was a time of also just sitting back and thinking, just like this hanged man is thinking he has like a light bulb around his head. So you're sitting back and you're thinking, or you were at this time, what kind of people do I want around me? What kind of people don't I want around me? Again, same thing again. And I think as you distance yourself from these people who aren't listening or weren't listening to you, your confidence is going to start to get back. And this thing that you were dreaming about, this thing that you were trying to talk to this person in the Six of Wands about, this is going to happen for you and you're going to see it finish. You're going to be able to do this, work on this, and you will see it come to an end. You'll get completion with this thing. Because, if you look at the legs of this hanged man, they're making the shape of a number 4. Obviously, it's upside down because he's upside down, but that's the shape of a number 4. And that can represent completion. Things coming to, completion, that's the only word I can think of. Things coming to an end, coming to a result, rounding off, like 4 corners of a square, coming around to the end. So you'll be able to complete things. And I think, at this time, you're kind of shifting your life around, you're sitting back and thinking. And these kind of shifts were kind of moving things, obstacles out of your way, people out of your way that would not help you to do this. Now that they're going to be out of your way, you're going to be able to move forward and do this thing you've been always dreaming of doing, and you'll have more confidence as well without these people around you who aren't listening to you. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your past is the 10 of Wands. So yes, hard work, really, really hard work. This has all been hard work for you. It's been very hard emotional work for you to try and move yourself out of this old situation. Because obviously when you're in a relationship and you're breaking up or whatever you're doing, moving away from this person, it's not easy emotionally. It's very, very, very hard. And I think it would have been easier in the short term, obviously, to just stay where you were. A lot of people do that and kind of put up with things. And, obviously there'd be less short-term stress because you wouldn't have to have the tough conversations that you need to have when you need to move away from someone. But then you would have terrible long-term stress. You'd be stuck in a situation, things would be worse later, and you'd be resentful, and it would kind of fester on and on and on and get worse and worse. And, I think you knew that you couldn't put things off any longer. But obviously this wasn't easy. I am feeling a lot of emotions around this. It's very, very, or it was very emotionally draining for you. Probably still is. You're probably still going through a lot of that because it takes a lot of time for anyone to get over anything like this. So, and, I think at this time it might have felt that, you'll never get better. You'll always feel drained. You'll always feel emotional. You'll always feel kind of upset about this. And you might still be feeling like that now. But, you will get over this, you will feel better. And the man in this card, obviously, he's pushing forward. It's really hard for him to see where he's going because he has all of these wands in front of his face. He's heading for a home, he's heading for this beautiful cottage, but he can't see that. And you're heading for somewhere beautiful, you're heading for somewhere exceptional, you're heading to victory, which is what I'm seeing in the Six of Wands. You are getting there. You can't quite see exactly what this is at this time, or you couldn't. Maybe you still can't, but it's beautiful. Where you're going is beautiful. You will get there. It's slow, it's heavy, it's difficult. You have a lot of emotions that are still there, but you will get there. You will get there slowly, and you are heading in the right direction. This was the right thing for you to do. That's what I'm seeing, if this all resonates with you. So the first card you have for your present is the Two of Swords. Yes. So yeah, I think, in this time, when you're shifting, when you're working through all of these things emotionally, as well as practically, I think, when you move yourself out of a situation, especially a love situation, there are things that, there are practical things, there are emotional things, all sorts of things you have to think about, dates, physical items. Sometimes you have joint owned things. Sometimes you have money that you've merged in together. Sometimes there are all sorts of things happening. I think there are arguments, there are harsh words. That's what I'm seeing, because I am seeing swords. And when I see swords, often I see words. I think this person that you're moving away from is probably feeling very hurt, and that's understandable. I think you both are. And there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of hurt on both sides I'm seeing. And it's difficult, this sorting out. It's always difficult, it's always painful. And it's not easy for anyone, obviously. This person's probably lashing out a bit at you. They're probably saying some things, some hurtful things. And yeah, of course, this is going to hurt. I think when you're around someone for a long, long time, they know exactly what to say. They know you very well. They know exactly what to say to hurt you. It can be impossible to ignore these things, obviously. And it can be impossible to sit back and say nothing as well, especially for me. I can understand that I'm an Aries. It's impossible for me to say nothing. So, but if this resonates, and a lot of what they're saying at this time, I don't think it's how they truly feel. Now, it sounds like I'm just saying that, oh, they don't mean what they say. They're saying it because they're hurt, and they want to make you hurt. They want to lash out at you, and they're trying to justify the fact that you are separating, and they're trying to feel good about that. And they're really, really hurting, and the only way they can feel better about themselves and better about the situation is to lash out and get that kind of anger and that hurt outside of them, out of them. So, if you can, try to block this out as much as you can. I know it's not easy, but try to do that as much as you can, like the woman on this card. Unless they're saying something to you that's useful, practical, something that's helpful, like what time do you want to pick up this, what are you going to do this, or something. It probably isn't going to be worth listening to any kind of lashing out horrible things. And if you answer them, if you kind of lash out at them, back at them, and it goes backwards and forwards, it's just going to end up in more hurtful words, more things. Try not to take any of this to heart. I know it's very hard not to take any of this to heart, because they know exactly what to say to hurt you. But just grit your teeth if you can, get through this time, shut your eyes, shut your ears like this woman, put your swords up against them, and just get through this time. It's very, very difficult, I know. So the next card you have for your present is the Empress. So yes, try to shelter yourself from the worst of this if you can, the worst of this anger or this upset. And I think, doing that is a part of you nurturing yourself. And I think that's what you need to do at this time. Really take care of yourself, put yourself first, be self-preserving. That's a part of sheltering yourself from these words as much as you possibly can. Preserve yourself, preserve your energy, preserve your emotions. Take care of yourself. Again, I don't think they really mean what they're saying. That probably doesn't help you at this time, I know, but that's what I'm seeing. They're just lashing out in anger. And I think also you might be, while this is all going on, I think you might be talking to someone at this time. I think this might be a really good friend of yours or someone like that, someone who you're really close to, might be a relative, but this is someone who's like a friend to you. And I think you might be kind of venting this or telling them all about this. And I really hope you are. I really hope this does resonate with you, because I think you're really going to need someone to talk to about all of these things, because it's very, very stressful, very difficult. And I think this is someone who really can listen, who really wants to listen to you. And I think they really want to help you. They really want to help you to get everything out of your system. They want to help you to relax. This is one of the people who you wanted to keep with you. This is one of the people who definitely supported you and wanted to listen to you, wanted to be around you. This is a giver, not just a taker. That's what I'm seeing. And the other thing I'm seeing about this friend is, sorry about that siren. Yeah, this might sound a bit strange, but I'm seeing some information. I'm seeing some information that this person or someone around this person might tell you. They might come and tell you. Yes, emergency. It's not funny. This is quite serious. This person's going to tell you something, and it's going to really surprise you. It's not, it kind of is going to surprise you, but I think you might have had your instincts around this. I think you might have known that something else might have been going on with this person. You weren't quite sure what this was. This is going to be a message. This is going to be something that might even change your whole opinion of this person who you're getting away from or you've already gotten away from. You might not hear everything. You might not hear all of the information, if that makes sense. I think it will be enough for you to kind of understand what's happening. And I don't think you need any more information. I think this is going to say it all for you. I don't want you to worry. I don't want you to be worried about this. Don't be alarmed about this. But I think this is something that you suspected, but I think you couldn't quite see, or you didn't have the evidence or something like that. I know this sounds really bad. I know this sounds really alarming. But, I don't want to upset you, but this information's coming to you at the perfect time if this resonates with you, because I think it's going to confirm that you're making the right decision to get away from this person. And I think from now on, you probably won't look back. You won't look back to this person ever again. And I think there might have been a time when you might have gone backwards and forwards with them. You might have felt a bit sorry for them. You might have wanted to go back. But I think this is like kind of like the icing on the cake almost. It's like, there's no way I'm going back to them now after hearing this information. No way. This kind of changes everything. I'm not going back ever again now. That's what I'm seeing. So don't be worried. Don't be upset if you haven't had this information. It might not even resonate with you. But it's just going to confirm that you've done the right thing. That's all. So don't worry about this. The last card you have for your present is the Two of Cups. So yeah, here's this friend again. This is someone who you're really close to in the Empress card. And I think, when you hear this information, it's going to be a shock to you. And I think if you haven't heard this already, and I think you might be upset, you might be angry. It's going to be, not great. But try not to take it out on the person, because this is someone who really cares about you, this friend of yours. They're not telling you to gossip. They're not telling you to cause problems. They're not doing anything like that. This is someone who you can really, really trust. This is someone who's on your side. They're just honest. They're just direct. They want you to know the truth because they care about you. And this information probably isn't going to be love and light and sweet and wonderful, but it's information that you need to know. So don't be upset. Don't be angry at the messenger. This is a really, really good friend. This is someone who cares about you. And again, if this resonates, try not to stress about this information. I know you're probably going to start thinking things like, oh, if I'd known this sooner, I would have disconnected sooner, a long time ago. I'm definitely seeing that this information is coming to you at exactly the right time. I think if you had have heard this information a long time ago, you might not have believed it. And I think if it had have come from anyone else apart from this friend, you also might not have believed it. And so, yeah, this friend really cares for you. There are other people around you who might not have told you this information. Better someone being honest with you and telling you than someone who keeps this information from you. That's what I think personally. Some people like to be kept in the dark. I don't. I really, really appreciate anyone telling me the truth. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have for your future is the Queen of Cups. So yes, the Queen of Cups, she's the most emotional, she's the most imaginative of all queens as well. So you might be immersing yourself in this information for a while. It's going to be hard to get out of your head. You're going to be really, really thinking about it. And you might be thinking about, oh yes, that all makes sense. That time when they did that, that time when they said that. Now I understand. That all adds up now. This information makes sense. So you're going to go through that. It's a difficult process, but you're going to have to go through that. Try not to overimagine. Try not to overthink. Try not to think about what you don't know. Don't imagine things that you don't know. You have the information. Yes, of course, process that, think about that, but don't imagine extra things on top of that. You'll just send yourself crazy. You'll just make yourself more upset. And yeah, take your time. Let yourself take all of this in. Take as long as you need. And, you know, I think this is going to help you to move forward. You will move forward, but again, you know, take your time. Don't worry. This is just what I'm seeing. It might not resonate, but, you know, I just have to tell you what I'm seeing. I am seeing this information coming to you that's just going to change everything for you. And also keep on talking to this friend. This is a very honest friend. She's on your side, or he's on your side, or whoever this is on your side. They will stick with you forever. They care about you. And keep on talking to them. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is creativity. So maybe some of these things that you wanted to do, some of these plans that you had in this Six of Wands that you were trying to talk to this person about, they might have been creative things, creative plans. So also try and focus on these things as well. Try and focus on what you can do in your future to build up new things, things that you couldn't have done when you were around this person probably. And, you know, your life's more open now. Even though you're probably still struggling, you're probably still adjusting emotionally to this news or whatever this is, you're freer than you were. And, you know, you have a lot of freedom. So use your energies, use this energy, not to sit around being upset. You know, of course, do that if you need to. Take all the time that you need, obviously. But also use that energy to push yourself forward into this new creative thing. You might end up, if this is something creative, you might end up losing time, losing yourself in this thing. And this might be the best medicine for you, might really help you. And also tell your friend about these goals as well. This is a person who can listen to you. This is a person who wants to support you and be with you, and they care about you. So you do have this person. You have other people as well, but you definitely have this person who cares about you and listens to you. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your future is the Star. Beautiful, beautiful card. I think this person, this ex, whoever this is in the Six of Wands, I think at this time they might actually still be thinking about you. And yeah, I think they lashed out at you in anger and all of that, but I think they might still have a little bit of hope that you might eventually come back and that you might come and connect with them again. I don't think they know that you know this information about them, actually, if that makes sense. They don't know that you know. And this, you know, if you look at this beautiful woman on this card, she looks a little bit vulnerable. She's naked, she's by herself. They might be watching you on social media at this time. They might be just seeing what you're doing. I don't think they're messaging you. They're not going to be messaging you. They're not going to be saying anything to you, reaching out to you or anything like that. They might just be looking. They might be seeing what you're doing. They might be seeing if you're with anyone else, what you're doing, whether you're out, whether you're here, whether you've gone away, whatever. Don't worry, they're not a threat to you. They're not going to come and stalk you. They're not going to come and cause you any problems or anything serious. But again, I don't think there's any way that you'd have them back now that you know this information. If this resonates with you, yeah, this really, really changed everything for you. It really changed everything. So the last card you have for your future is the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, this is reflecting the Ten of Wands, this big, long, hard slog that, you know, you have to do, this big, hard work, but you are going to get there in the end. You're going to get to where you want to go, especially financially, if this is a work-related thing, and especially this creative thing, this creative project that I was seeing in the Queen of Cups. They might be all in the same thing. You might have something creative that you want to do for your work or something like that, or it might be a creative money-making project or something. And I think, you know, it is going to take time for you to be able to do this. There's going to be a lot of slow effort, a lot of steady effort, but now that you've gotten away from this person who was holding you back, not listening to you, holding your confidence back, or not taking you seriously, I think, the ones in front of your eyes are now going to be removed, the ones that were in front of this man in the Ten of Wands, and you're going to be able to see exactly where you want to go, exactly where you need to go.